Judge, and I want to tell you that as we talk right now, the Board of Trustees of the Uganda Life Authority has actually approved, it has approved a total of 4.117 billion shillings to be paid out in compensation. And we have this money. It's not that we are looking around, because the Board of Trustees made a resolution. 2% of all who are revenue is put aside for compensation. And we have the money. 4.117 billion has been approved by the board for payments. Out of this, 1.78 billion has already been paid out. We are paying out 2.336 billion by the end of June, before the end of June 2025. And if we are to come specifically to Kanungu district, the deputy list is from Kanungu, so I really wanted to extract the data from Kanungu to speak to volumes and even the names. People have been paid. What we need to do, we are going to compile a list of all those who have been compensated and give a copy to the chief warden. And the chief warden should share with the LC5 chairman, the members of parliament. Because what we discovered is that people are paid and they keep quiet. So they keep saying, oh, it's bad, they don't pay us, they don't. And yet they are being paid. I have a list here. I was sharing with the deputy this when we were having breakfast. I have a list. The table form here, people who have been paid. I have a daily made amount. These are paid already. Kazinga Village, Kurek Parish, Nyanga Boundary, Kanungu District, Eastward Parish, Goma, all these are lists I have who have been paid. 120 million, 7.6, 1.02, 940. So compensation is real. People have been paid. What happened, as you may know, is that damage of force was going on before. But regulations came into force only in 2022. And we started paying in 2023. So we had a backlog of claims, which you have to first clear before you come to the current claims. But the resolution we have made is to prioritize deaths. Whether the deaths happened yesterday, that will be pulled, is now being pulled out and being paid by June 30th. Because what we have done, one of the challenges we've been having, is that the arguments were being wrongly filled. So there was a back and forth. We will send the teams, they come, they collect the arguments, but the arguments reach Kampala, and the lawyers said, no, this cannot stand in law. Go back. So there has been a back and forth, because when a report is made, data is collected at the state level and the forms are filled, they come to Kampala, they are compiled, and then they are considered by the verification committee, they are verified, they are taken to the board and they are approved, and we pay. So we have improved by sending our own teams. They have just been here for the last 2 weeks, going all around conservation areas, looking at the lists and the arguments, and they have made sure they are rightly signed. This week, starting yesterday, I started signing all the arguments. We have over 200 arguments to be paid. And I've told you already we have 2 points. The money is there to be paid. So by June 30th, it is 2.336 trillion. So please, I want us to come actually to radio, Chief. The community conservation teams, go to the radios. Every district now has a radio. Can you go to the radio and speak to the people and tell them money has been paid? If you want to cross-check, go to the notice board of the chief warden, because we are compiling this of all CAs to give to the chief wardens who will share with the people who are concerned, who would like that information. So that we remove this speculation of compensation is not there. Compensation is there, and people are getting paid. For example, when in total 1,177 claims have been approved by the board, and like I've told you, have paid, and by June 30th, our goal is to pay off. I have even Xoro. I have the Xoro status here. All this data is available. All we need is to share it so that our district chairman, our other DCs can be armed with this information. I have Xoro, people who have been paid already. A very long list of many people. So we are going to share this information. The chief will avail this information to you so that you can tell the people that actually compensation is there. But compensation alone is not sustainable. So we must think of other avenues. Sensitization, we do the beekeeping, we research zones, we do the electric fencing, we are exploring the planting of bamboo, which has been approved in the National Bamboo Strategy. So there are so many other things that we're planning to do, that even as these elephants get wise and get adapted to the electric fence, by the time we reach there, we have another solution. I have Queen Elizabeth here, so many. So let's just share this information so that people can be able to be armed with information. So I thought like this one, compensation is real. People are being compensated, but they keep quiet. Let's share this information. I don't know whether that has any legal connotation. We need to consult our legal director whether we can share people's information, but we are not sued at the end of the case. But people are being compensated. Uganda Wildlife Authority continues to implement strategic interventions aimed at mitigating the impact of human life conflict, particularly in communities adjacent to red areas. In Mgahinga National Park, we have successfully reconstructed 15.7 kilometers of the Buffalo Stone Wall, a critical barrier that has significantly reduced wildlife incursions into community lands. I am pleased to report, thanks to this and other targeted efforts through which we have mitigated human-wildlife conflict in the Mgahinga area up to 95%. I thought that is a yes. In Windi Impenetrable National Park, where the terrain and wildlife behavior pose more complex challenges, we are applying a multi-pronged approach. This includes the establishment of buffer zones, growing of tea in adjacent areas as a buffer crop, construction of baboon traps, establishment of Mauritius stone, deployment and support of human gorilla conflict resolution teams, and other community-driven conservation practices. And these interventions are not only reducing conflict, but also building stronger partnerships between the Wildlife Authority and local communities. We acknowledge and appreciate the growing call from stakeholders for an increase in the percentage of the revenue shared with communities neighboring areas. This is a priority we also share at the Wildlife Authority. Indeed, our collective goal is to see communities benefit more directly and sustainably from tourism and conservation. However, the amount of the revenue share is directly tied to the performance of tourism. This one we must know. As our tourism numbers grow, therefore, and you can be sure you are hearing this from the ED, so it is real. As our numbers grow, revenue available will grow for sharing. And to achieve this, we must all work together to create an enabling environment that encourages more tourist visits and longer stays. This includes improving access roads and infrastructure, and I'm glad I've already had a meeting with General Katumbo Amara. I've had a meeting with the PSST, Mr. Ramadan Gobi, about Katumbu Ishasha Road, about Kanyantoro Togota Koma, about the Mgahinga Road, and the information I've been given is that government has actually got a loan to work on southwestern roads where we have the gorillas tourism. In fact, the PSST told me it's sending us a team to agree on these roads so that they can be worked on as a special entity, because we've explained and lobbied and said, look, this is a very low-hanging fruit that we can actually use to promote this country. So as we lobby, let's lobby together. Uganda Wildlife Authority has gone an extra mile to source for funds outside its revenue base to ensure enhanced benefit and addressing livelihood of frontline communities. Through our World Bank project, the IFPA-CD, we have trained and supported collaborative resource management groups in procuring, constructing, and installing rainwater tanks around Mgahinga Gorilla National Park. A total of 118 water tanks were procured and installed for 118 collaborative resource management members, while 12 were procured and installed in Windi Impenetrable National Park. Also 134 community collaborative resource management members around Mgahinga Gorilla Conservation Park, Gorilla National Park, were also trained and supported in establishment of local energy saving stores, while 228 were supported in Windi. However, we are also aware of the persistent and emerging challenges: human life conflict, habitat encroachment, climate change impacts, and pressures from tourism and development continue to test the resilience of the ecosystems and communities within and around Queen Mahinga Conservation Area. It is imperative that we address these issues with urgency, innovation, and unity. Our conservation strategy, without a doubt, we are now developing our new strategic plan, because the one we have expires at the end of this month. And therefore, if you have any ideas, please give them to us through the chief, so that we can incorporate them in the coming strategic plan for the next 5 years. The people living adjacent to Bwindi National Park and Kahinga National Parks are not just beneficiaries, they are owners and co-managers of these areas, and we acknowledge this. This is demonstrated by the co-management of Kulingo Buffer Zone with NCDF and the collaborative resource use programs. The livelihoods, traditions, and cultural practices, as well as the well-being, are being integrated into every conservation action we take. We have integrated culture of the Buffer in tourism and developed a unique product known as Buffer Forest Experience that optimizes their indigenous traditional knowledge and its application to complement conservation of natural resources. We commend the efforts made through programs like Revenue Sharing Scheme and the Gorilla Levy Fund. These have provided tangible benefits such as community lodges, schools, health centers, and water projects to neighboring communities. But we must go further. Let us explore more sustainable long-term livelihood options that reduce dependency on forest resources and foster conservation stewardship. I want to urge the district leaders here. Revenue sharing, one of these accountability. Why are we not having timely accountability for these funds so that we can release funds timely? I've just learned that the parish development committees are not involved in procurement, and maybe this is one of the challenges. Can we improve in this area so that people are involved right from the beginning, for us to improve accountability and be able to distribute the funds? Because these funds are available, they are on account. But before you account, we cannot release these funds. So please, let's work together to streamline this matter so that we can release funds timely. We acknowledge the concerns raised regarding the Gorilla Levy. Please be assured that this matter is currently under the scrutiny and active consideration of the board. That one I can assure you. There is a strong likelihood that the board will adopt a structure based on a percentage of the permit fees as opposed to the current flat rate. And I want to inform you that the board will be sitting here the whole of next week. And there will be an opportunity to meet the community for the board to interface with the community. And we've already invited you. Many of you come and be part of the checks that are going to be given out as part of revenue share. And so you'll be part of that occasion. So the board is considering this matter, and very soon will pronounce themselves on the matter. This forum is a powerful reminder that conservation is not a one-agency effort. It requires partnerships among government, local leaders, development agencies, academia, private investors, and most importantly, the communities. That one we must keep emphasizing. I encourage all stakeholders here today to harmonize our efforts and share knowledge and innovations. As we move forward, let us be guided by a shared vision within the Mahinga Conservation Area that is ecologically healthy, economically beneficial, and socially inclusive. Let us prioritize landscape level planning, entrance monitoring and research, and leverage technology for smarter conservation management. If we are part of this system and we realize that there are some illegal activities going on, don't shy to point this out. Because if some revenue is not coming in the mainstream, we are all losers. Because at the end of the day, we share this revenue. If some people are taking the revenue for their own benefit, we all become losers. So let us protect this resource as our own. I urge you all. If you get information regarding illegal activities that are making us lose revenue. Us, I mean all of us, because we are all beneficiaries. Let us know so that we take decisive action. Before I conclude,